Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome you here to this inter-university dialogue on sexuality, and this platform continues to unite young people, academics, health professionals and policymakers in advancing sexual reproductive health and rights in higher institutions of learning. We note that this year's dialogue aims at strengthening inclusive youth participation in sexual reproductive health and reminds us that young people must be at the center of every conversation.
It is an honor, it's a privilege for me to join you this year at the Inter-University Dialogue under the theme, The Untold Stories of Sexuality. This platform has continued to nurture open, informed, and inclusive discussions among young people, especially university students, on issues that shape your sexuality, that shape our sexuality.
The IUD is a unique space which we create every year in collaboration with various universities to facilitate some of our intellectual youth to come together to share together with policymakers, duty bearers, implementers, discussions surrounding their life, their sexuality, and their future. Sexuality is not merely biological or medical. It is a deeply human experience, personal yet profoundly social. It shapes identity, agency, and dignity.
The story of sex is a story of humanity itself. Has lots and lots of myths and misconceptions attached to it, but it is also deeply revealing reflection of who we are. Sex is pleasurable and fun, but even as we are enjoying sex, many times we don't pay attention to the consequences. Sexuality is inherent, it is diverse, and its expression varies significantly across different cultures. Whether we are heterosexual, whether we are homosexual, bisexual, or whether we are asexual. But also about how individuals experience and express their sexual desires, attractions, and behaviors. The struggle with understanding and accepting one's sexuality is significant for many, particularly those whose experiences do not align with societal norms or expectations. The journey towards self-acceptance and the quest for societal acceptance can be fraught with challenges, including stigma, discrimination, and internal conflicts. For individuals grappling with these issues, the struggle can impact various facets of their lives, from mental health and relationships to social integration and self-esteem. If we are to have any chance of saving these children who are suffering now, and those who will no doubt be suffering in the future, the best place to start is by opening our eyes to the abuse going on around us. We need the safe spaces. It is difficult to have these spaces in our homes, but the reality is we need these safe spaces in our homes.
Respect is the cornerstone of every conversation about sexuality. No matter one's gender, orientation, or background, every person deserves dignity, safety, and freedom from violence. As universities, we must be torchbearers of this culture, one that teaches young people not just what love is, but what respect means.
We talk about challenges affecting youth or our country, but usually ask ourselves, where are the youth we are discussing about? That such initiatives are organized, but they are always busy doing nothing. This maybe happens partly because of ignorance, maybe, and lack of information and awareness about these initiatives, but still partly it comes back to, I would say, the parents and socialization, like how these youth are made to become what they become. What they learn as they grow up remains so crucial for in the ways they behave, ways they react to what happens to them in life, and ways they get to connect with others in society. What should we really do to have changes that suit what you want to have? And what could we prepare for the children that are to come after us?
For far too long, sexuality has been a whispered conversation in our lecture rooms, a misunderstood subject in our homes, and at times a battleground in our societies. Yet today we gather here not to whisper, not to judge, but indeed to dialogue, and entirely to dialogue. The inter-university dialogue is more than an event. It is a moment of awakening, an opportunity to replace stigma with understanding, silence with knowledge, and shame with respect. As intellectuals, our duty is not merely to pass exams or obtain degrees. Our duty is to pursue truth. And truth, colleagues, demands that we understand sexuality not through rumor or prejudice, but through science, ethics, and empathy. Sexuality is not a threat to morality, but ignorance is. Let us challenge the system that weaponizes shame. Let us empower our peers to make informed, responsible, yet respectful choices. And above all, let us ensure that no student ever feels unsafe because of who they are or what they are aligned with. Let this dialogue not end in this room. Let it echo in our classrooms, our dormitories, our communities, and our policies. Let us become a generation that speaks boldly, listens deeply, and acts justly.
When your untold story hits you, make sure you don't keep it untold. Don't keep in silence. Open up. Someone will come and rescue you. Speaking out makes a huge difference. Let this IUD not just stop in the boardroom. Can we go out and look for people that are suffering, for people that are traumatized?
We want to see acts of empowerment, acts of healing, and of course, the dedication to progress as we navigate our sexual lives and relationships. I would like to call upon you, ladies and gentlemen, in this room to create safe spaces where everybody can openly discuss sexuality without fear or being stigmatized. I'd also like to call upon you to say no to all forms of violence and to report all forms of violence.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are not just beneficiaries today, but you are key agents in building safe, inclusive, and informed communities in your universities. I therefore invite all of us to ensure collective responsibility as institutions. Let us not leave this dialogue the way we came, but rather leave inspired to act, to educate others, and make our campuses models of dignity, equality, and wellness.
These unspoken truths are what we must bring to light if we are to advance Uganda's national agenda on sexuality education and sexual and reproductive health. Let us challenge stereotypes, celebrate diversity, and commit to building a future where every young person in Uganda can access accurate information, make informed choices, and live with dignity and self-worth.